Happy Independence Day, America's birthday. I wanted to create a video because I'm seeing, again, like a lot of the other videos I created, a constant belief or opinion that's being laid out by mainstream media and by those in this country that don't like America, that today is a day that we shouldn't come together, that we shouldn't celebrate. Well, I want to be able to talk about why I am proud to be an American, and more importantly, why today is so important, why the Declaration of Independence, the reason that we celebrate today, and the document that released us from the tyranny of England is so important. Why it's the cornerstone of what makes America America, and why you should be proud to be an American today. The Declaration of Independence was signed by men that came together that believed that we have these values, these beliefs that we're not currently able to exercise under colonial rule. And when they came together, they needed to lay out a belief system of why they had a justification to throw off the shackles of tyranny, of British rule, and become an independent, free country. The Declaration of Independence laid out a radical notion, one that had never been thrown out before by any major group of people, and that was that all men are created equal, that we have certain unalienable rights. Now, I know people are going to get caught up on the use of the word men, but let's put things in its proper context. That the people are created equal under God. That there is no line of succession. There is no kings or queens that have a right to rule us, because we are all created equally under God. That we, the people, get to choose who leads us. We shouldn't be born in a system in which those at the top automatically get the right to rule us. That was this radical notion that was put forward by the Declaration of Independence, and it is why we celebrate today. It's from this foundation that all of the freedom that exists in the world came from. And I literally mean came from. Without America existing, I don't even want to imagine what the world would look like. It's not super hard to imagine what the world would look like. Just look at China, look at Russia. Right? Look at all these despot countries all over the world, whether they're in Latin America or in Africa, where you have these rulers that control with an iron fist, where freedom is, an idea that people dream about but have never even had a chance to try and pursue. Without America, the world would look nothing how it looks today. Because here's what the history of humanity has been. The history has been that we aren't born with any rights. That rights have to come from some entity. That's what the history of people, of the world, have been. But in America, we radically changed that belief system. There's going to be people that are out there that are going to say that this country was founded by white supremacist slaveholders. And they're going to try and reshape this narrative that you don't have something to be proud of. But I live in the real world. And in the real world, if America didn't exist, given the context of what was generally accepted by society all across the globe, that people held slaves, something that even the founders grappled with. So don't get it twisted. Don't make it, don't let people make you believe that everybody just openly accepted that slavery was okay, because it wasn't. It never was, and it never is. But it was socially acceptable among a lot of people. But even in the founding of this country, when they laid out this structure of how a government should be ruled, that structure says it right in the actual words that we're all created equal. It's just in practice, they weren't able to live up to that. So much to the point that Frederick Douglass, who was born a slave, who earned his freedom, he talked about Independence Day and how these ideals of America were not being lived when he was alive, that slavery still existed. Even he, a man that was a slave that became free, believed that American independence was something to be celebrated, that we should work towards these ideals. And that's exactly what happened. We had the Civil War. We had the Emancipation Proclamation. We had the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments. And everything that grew from all comes back to this cornerstone of what we're celebrating today, American independence. I want you to think really, really, really hard about all of the things in this world that were created because of America. That the idea that we as people can pursue whatever it is that we want to pursue, that we can create inventions, and that we can hold the money that we get to create from that invention, that it doesn't have to go to some government entity, that we can pursue life, liberty, and happiness because that is our natural right. That concept is foreign to American history. Outside of American history, I should say, it's foreign to world history. America was the one that created this principle. America is the one that created this idea that we should be able to be free and exercise our freedom and create a government that allows us to exercise our freedom. It's been a struggle to get to where we are today. So don't be, thrown back by that. But understand that as our country has progressed, we have created more and more freedom. And I should say not that we've created freedom, but that we've created a system that has allowed for more freedom. And that's the basic premise. Now, I was born in a poor family. My father was actually not born in this country. He immigrated to this country. And he became a naturalized citizen. That's what's so great about this country, is that once you become an American, if you're born here or if you're naturalized, you have this government that supports this belief that you are born with rights, that you are a free person. And it's that concept that has allowed this country to become the greatest country in the world. When this country was formed, we were the greatest. People want to go back and they want to talk about how slavery existed and how that was so terrible. Of course it was terrible. No one's arguing that slavery is a good thing. Do we know that there was indigenous people in this country that were conquered and everything like that? Of course we know that that happened, but that was the way of the world. You can't change that. You can look at the things that happened that were bad, but not say that everything that sprung from that is endemic of that badness. Instead, why don't you focus on the good things, on what this country was founded in and what we have become. The shining city on the hill. That's what we are in America. People literally die to get to America. And I'm not talking about like way back in the day. I'm talking about today. There are people that literally will try and sacrifice their lives, or they know that there's a high chance that they will die, but they will still try and come to this country to become an American citizen. That means something, and you have to understand that. So don't let people that are trying to reshape and reimagine that America is this racist country, this white supremacist country, and that you have nothing to be proud of. You go and be proud today. I know I'm proud. Every day I wake up, I am proud to be an American. I am proud, and I feel blessed that I was able to be born into this country. Every single day. It has afforded me every opportunity to be successful. I hold these values of America to be self-evident, and you should too. Now, you can have a disagreement. You can say, here's the things that I think America needs to work on, and that's fine. But you have to know that America is great. It's great because of the Declaration of Independence, because it's its foundation. That's what makes America so great. That we can take all these ideas and all these values, all these cultures, no matter who you are, whether you're born poor or born rich, whether you believe that America is awesome, or even if you think that America sucks, you have the right to your beliefs and opinions in this country. You can go out there and exercise, vote for the people that you think will radically, fundamentally change this world. I think that those people in office would be terrible, but that's my opinion. And I'm going to vote for people that aren't going to be like that. So in America today, go and celebrate. Be proud to be an American. Understand the rich cultural experience that Americans have had, that it's been a long and grueling march to get to this point. But we always had that foundation. It was always there. And people have recognized that it was always there. You don't have to just throw the entire country out because of the things that this country has done that have been poor. We always want to live up to an ideal, and we're not perfect. America's no different. We're not perfect. But the core of what we are is amazing. It's the freest country in the world. This principle. We are the freest people in the world. So go and celebrate today. Go and celebrate your privilege of being born in America. Go and celebrate your privilege of becoming an American citizen. I know I'm going to be celebrating. I'm going to be jamming out to Lee Greenwood, Proud to Be an American. I don't even like country, honestly, but I listen to this song, and man, those words, they hit me, especially now. We have so much more in common that bind us together as a country, as a people. Be proud to be an American today. Go and celebrate. Have a great Independence Day. God bless America. God bless you. Have a great day.